I am Dr. Yoginder Gupta. I am consultant physician with Delhi government before and now working with Sehgal New Hospital, Mirabagh. I have done my graduation and post graduation from Banaras Hindu University. So I am basically involved in the management of diabetes, hypertension and related disease. Today we are going to discuss about the regular blood test for the healthy heart. As you are aware, the number of illnesses reported today in the people are increasing at an alarming rate. Some of these illnesses can be serious if not identified at an early stage. A blood screening will provide us a platform to assess your current health and catch potential health problems before they rise to the surface and cause serious problems. This is also an important thing that once you are diagnosed a condition like diabetes or hypertension or coronary artery disease, it is advisable to follow up the disease board with your doctor regularly. For that you also need to assess your blood functions again and again so that we can assess the impact of the treatment on your health. Blood tests have a variety of uses. If one is experiencing unusual persistent symptoms, for example fatigue, fever, cough, increased urination, tiredness, etc., this blood test can help us to identify the basic condition so that can be treated. If one wants to optimize their health, knowing levels of various blood components such as cholesterol, blood sugar can help to tweak your diet or fitness plan to minimize unhealthy habits. Before moving on to conditions that require regular blood tests, let me give you some information that you need to know before doing blood tests. Generally, the majority of blood tests don't require any preparations. They can be done at the spot. Just taking a simple venesection blood collection is not a difficult procedure and patient should not be worried about it. But certain tests like lipid profile, it is recommended that the patient has overnight fast, say 8 to 10 hours, so that we can get proper results. But that I also want to emphasize, that is not mandatory because it is only the triglycerides which do rise after the breakfast, not the other ones. So if you can do fast and do the blood test, that is better, but otherwise these things can be done as well otherwise also. So let us look some regular blood tests which are regularly conducted. First is not only the blood tests, other parameters which we need to know about our health is the blood pressure. Blood pressure is one of the easiest and simple diagnostic tools which can tell us much about the current and possible future health. It is the only way to know if one has the high or low BP, which at the end helps in controlling the BP. Blood pressure, what is blood pressure? Everybody wants to know what is blood pressure. So blood pressure basically is the force of blood against the walls of the arteries. As your heart pumps, heart is a pump. Once it pumps, it gives blood to the vessels. And the force of contraction is the systolic blood pressure or the upper blood pressure. Once the heart contracts, it comes to relaxation. Once the heart relaxes, the blood vessels also relax. So this is the diastolic blood pressure. So one has two types of blood pressure. One is the systolic blood pressure and one is the diastolic blood pressure. So what is the normal BP? Most of the patients come to us and ask, what is the BP, doctor? What is my normal BP? So for a normal BP, it should be around 110 to 120 systolic or 70 to 80 diastolic. But the blood pressure is a labile one, variable. It is never constant. So you may have blood pressure 110, 70, the other time 120, 80. But maximum limit permissible is 140 by 90. So if patient has blood pressure more than 140/90, we call it high blood pressure or hypertension. these people do need the treatment. In fact, it is possible to monitor the blood pressure outside the clinical setting, what you call it, outside the hospital or the clinic, at home, by home blood pressure monitoring. It is rather more useful than sometimes, as the patient may be worried when once come to the clinic, the blood pressure may be high, but if he goes home and he finds the blood pressure is normal, so that is an appropriate reading. The blood pressure done in the clinic, we are sometimes call it white coat hypertension, and I have seen many patients where the BP when they come to the hospital or clinic is very high, sometimes 160, 190, and they go home and check, it comes out to 130, 80. So monitoring of blood pressure at home is very important. There are various type of blood pressure instruments available. So the commonly used are digital ones, what we have come across Omron, and other ones are aneroids. Now these are usually instruments where the cuff is placed on the upper arm, and one should also ensure the size of the cuff is appropriate for the patient. And a healthy obese patient probably needs a extra large cuff, or normal patient will need a large cuff. Now there are some instruments available, what we call it wrist BP instruments or finger BP instruments. These are totally unreliable. I will advise never to use them because they give false readings and they cannot be used in clinical practice. Another important point one should know is that blood pressure instrument should also be optimized. If you purchase an instrument after 2 years, probably it may not be give the same readings, or it may have gone some technical problem. So they should always be optimized against a standard BP instrument. And once you take a blood reading, another point is that you should take minimum of 2 readings, and there should be a gap of 1 minute between the two. And if you are getting 2 different readings and rather variation, you can probably repeat it after some time and check it. If you see some instruments which are the recommended one, they usually take 3 readings at one after the other, without telling the reading, and then they give you the mean. The one I have got like this one I have shown to you. Can you show it please? This is an instrument which is used in other countries also. It will take 3 readings and then give us the mean, but it won't tell each reading individually. So this is the most reliable one, because the blood pressure keeps on varying and single reading sometime may not be reliable. So this is about the BP, and as I told you, BP varies with the age, emotions, whether patient has a tea, coffee, or is having pain. So readings may vary according to the time and the day and according to the circumstances. Now coming to the blood sugar levels. Diabetic is very prominent and commonly prevalent disease at present. It is almost 8 to 10% in the rural areas, and urban it may be even more than 15 to 20%. What is diabetes? Diabetes means the blood sugar levels are high and there is a relative or absolute deficiency of insulin. So when the body doesn't have enough insulin, the blood sugar tends to rise. So it is the duration of diabetes. If you don't control the diabetes, long-term duration of diabetes will lead to certain complications like diabetic neuropathy, where there is pain and tingling in the legs and the limbs, diabetic nephropathy, involvement of the kidneys. Almost 20 to 40% of the diabetics they land in hemodialysis in later life, or it will involve the eyes, causing retinopathy. Patient may need laser therapy, and maybe later stage some people may have loss of vision. So a critical part of many diabetes is getting routine tests done and checkups so that one can spot the problems early and help prevent complications. I have seen many patients who have symptoms of increased urination for maybe 15 days, 20 days, and they are drinking a lot of water, but they don't know they are suffering from diabetes because they never test it. Once we come here, we find the blood sugars maybe 500, even 6, and high level coming on the glucometer, which indicating that probably it is more than 550 or 600. So what are the tests one should do for diagnosing diabetes? There are 3 different tests commonly used. One is the HbA1c test, fasting blood sugar, postprandial blood sugar, or oral glucose tolerance test. What is the HbA1c test? HbA1c test tells us about the levels of blood sugar last 3 months. So if patient is having symptoms and we check HbA1c, we can see that probably he has definitely sugar more than last 3 months. Normal HbA1 levels is less than 5.7. 5.7 to 6.5 means he has impaired glucose tolerance, that is probably pre-diabetic, and with more than 6.5 is diabetic. It is one of the very important tests to be done in all diabetes. Another is the fasting blood sugar levels and the postprandial blood sugar levels after 2 hours, or we can go for oral GTT test also. Normal fasting blood sugar level are usually 90 to 126, and postprandial 2 hour is 180 milligram. If the levels are postprandial between 126, 140 to 180, probably patient has impaired glucose tolerance test. And the levels between 110 to 126 fasting means patient has impaired fasting blood glucose, and these people are pre-diabetic and they can later on go into diabetes as such. So if you can diagnose this patient in early stage, pre-diabetic stage or diabetic, we can start the treatment at the earliest possible and prevent the complications which are devastating. The aim of blood testing in such patient is to diagnose early and prevent complications. Now we come to the most important one, the monitoring of blood cholesterol levels. As you know, cholesterol levels, most of the people are already aware about the food habits, which foods or oils give what type of cholesterol. So a cholesterol testing is usually called lipid profile. It measures the fats in the blood. It provides the risk for the heart attack or other heart disease or any peripheral vascular disease. Unless you know that you have a high cholesterol while blood testing, you won't know the risks you are having unless you develop the disease and then get treatment. So our aim of testing will be to prevent the disease so that we can diagnose at the earliest stage. Blood cholesterol can be measured with a simple blood test. Usually most of the time we do the lipid profile, ask the patient to do the fasting for 8 to 12 hours. Patient can eat his food by 8 or 9, 10 pm and we can do the blood test in the morning. So what are the tests we do in the lipid profile? There are largely more of list is there, but basically what we need to do is total cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, and the good cholesterol or HDL cholesterol, and the fourth are the triglycerides. Total cholesterol is the amount of cholesterol present in the whole blood. A high level increases the risk of heart attack. Ideally it should be less than 200 milligram percent. Now the bad cholesterol, the most dangerous one is the LDL cholesterol. Too much LDL cholesterol, what it produces fat in the arteries, produces plaques in the arteries or blockage in the arteries, and which reduces the blood flow and can lead to major heart complication like myocardial infarction or heart attack. Now what are the levels of cholesterol? Preferably up to 130 in most of the patients, young patients, but preferably it should be optimized to less than 100. But if patient is diabetic or he has coronary artery disease or peripheral vascular disease, it is better that LDL should be less than 70 milligram percent. So there are drugs for that. At the same time, the dietary pattern, the lifestyle. So though many things are involved in the management of the bad cholesterol or total cholesterol. The good one is called HDL cholesterol. It helps to carry away the bad cholesterol and keeps the artery open and blood flowing more freely. The levels for male patient are usually 55 milligram, but in female for it is 55 for the female and male is 45 milligram percent. Now one type of fat is the triglycerides. This is another type of fat in the blood. They are usually seen in diabetics. Normal levels are up to 150, but we have seen patient in diabetics up to 400, 500, even I have come across more than 1000 or 1200 as well. They also cause blockage in the arteries, and they should also be treated as likely as LDL cholesterol. So the bottom line of presentation today is that the blood offers many clues about your health. They are also a good way to catch illness or disease early, so that you can diagnose the treatment and diagnose the problem and start treatment in such a way that patient doesn't have progression of the disease and stays healthy. So at last I would like to suggest that you should get routine blood tests at least once a year and stay healthy and prevent disease or diagnose the disease at an early stage and commence treatment accordingly, so that we don't land in complications. Thank you.